Alright everybody, this is Stephen Howson. This is the most requested video I have ever had. Everybody wants to know what my Football Manager tactics are because they're awesome. Now these are several years in the making. They've been tweaked and refined, and they get tweaked and refined every single season and sometimes every single match depending on the players that I've got available. But generally, I like to try and buy players or grow players that fit the system and not try and fit the system to the players, if that makes any sense whatsoever. So let's start with the basics. The formation. In fact, Joe, what? Let's go with the philosophy of it. The philosophy of it is Manchester United 1999. We're talking pace, we're talking aggression, we're talking football on the ground, we're talking width, crosses, goals, entertainment, and more importantly, success. Now that's very difficult to achieve just like that, but this is a really good representation of it. So obviously we've got a goalkeeper in net, boom. I'm using United for it as it's probably the most successful at the moment for it. We've got a flat back four, two full backs, a central defender and a ball playing central defender. Then we have a defensive midfielder, a central midfielder, attacking midfielder left and right. You can also move these back as traditional right midfielder. I mean, if it was the actual 99 one, then you would probably maybe see it like that a little bit more, wouldn't you? I think Beckham on the right would have been a little bit deeper. Ryan Giggs would have been playing off the top left there. And then a pair of strikers up front. And the strikers, we have an advanced forward and we have a false nine to come and operate in this sort of area down here. And basically in between the lines, isn't it? So the back four, defensive midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, wingers, two forwards. We'll start... Where do I click on it? Where is it? Team instructions. We'll start with the team's instructions. So the first thing that we go for is attacking. The mentality is attacking. Straight from the off, we're looking to exploit. We're looking to attack. Sometimes away from home, I have used control and I have used counter, but more than likely, I'm going just straight attacking. The team shape is flexible. You can go fluid with it and you can go structured with it, but I like to just be a little bit flexible with it and let players roam a little bit where they want to go. The next one is tempo. It's all about the tempo. So we are maxed out on the tempo. The tempo is higher. Time wasting, not interested in that. Just get on with the game. Now the width. I've messed with the width and gone wider, fairly wide, and balanced. I won't go any narrower than balanced. And the reason why I only use balanced and not wider is because when I'm defending, it spreads that back four out too far. But with the instructions that we've got on the players, and we're looking for the byline and we're looking for the overlap from the to the two fullbacks, we get the width that we're looking for anyway. So there's no need to go double wide over here. We get it from being balanced. Then defensive line slightly higher because we use our back line as part of a recycling the ball and as an option when we need it. I remember something from a bit back that the AC Milan team of the early 89-90 season, probably one of the best footballing sides ever, they had a rule that the centre-half could not be more than 30 metres away from the centre forward, so the centre halves would actually have to push right into the opposition half when they was in possession. So that I like that, not that extreme, but I like that, and that was how AC Milan made so compact, because that also meant on the flip side of that, the defenders would have to really come back into their own half when defending. So very difficult to maintain for a full game. Maybe it wouldn't have worked in England where it's so back and forward. Maybe it suits Italy where it was a little bit slower and it suited European football of that time. But in fact, do you know what? Where is it? Oh, I think I've took it to work. One of the best books on it, Inverting the Pyramid. One of the best books you can read on tactics. I thought I had it here. I must have took it to work. Check that out if you can anyway. So, as I was saying, so slightly higher line because we do like to use them recycling the ball. Not interested in using the offside trap. Closing down, we're going for more. Not all the way, just more. Not bothered about preventing the goalkeeper distribution or the tighter marking. Not interested in that sort of stuff. Tackling, get stuck in. So you can see stay on your feet is readied out there because get stuck in is what we're trying to do. Stuck in, no messing about. The build-up, No instructions. Play football. Pump it into the box is readied out because retain possession is in the green. And the passing is mixed. You can go slightly more direct with the more direct passing, but I like to keep it a little bit mixed and retain possession. And what you'll see with that is the team will probe a little bit on the border of the middle third and the final third. They will look to exploit, and then they'll spread it out wide and they will attack. So it's not as ponderous as it quite seems. It's actually quite attacking still. So mix it and retain possession. If you wanted to go shorter and retain possession, that's when you end up with the tiki-taka Barcelona style of play. I'm not really interested in that. That would be if you also coupled it with work the ball into the box. If you work the ball into the box, retain possession, shorter passing, that's going to end up with a tiki-taka sort of passing. If you keep it mixed and retain possession and you're looking for the overlap, then that's how you're going to play. So final third. We have readied out hit early crosses because we are looking for the overlap. Now, when we've got inside forwards, which I'll show you in a second, that is what the two wingers are, essentially, both inside forwards. They're both looking to come inside and create something. And the best thing for that is an overlapping fullback that's going to take the defender away, leave him in two minds and create space. And that's what they do. So look for the overlap. And there's also instructions that I'll show you in a second for the fullbacks to exploit that. Mixed crosses, stick them in however you want. Sometimes I have run at the defence, sometimes I have dribble less. I generally just keep it as this for now. That is it. That is all you need to know for this. So we cancel that. We'll go to the keeper. There is no instructions for the keeper. You can add a couple of instructions. Roll it out, where to clear it to. I'm not really bothered. Just play. And then we'll start with Damian. So as you can see here, there's a couple of ones that I can read out or get rid of. If you look at the attributes, these are the attributes that are going to decide whether this little piece of the pie gets filled in as much. So it's not whether the player himself is as suited to it mentally or anything like that. It's literally just down to the stats. So if the stats say that this guy fulfills that position excellently, then this guy fulfills that position excellently. So Damian, as you can see, what we're asking him to do is stay wider, run with the ball, cross from the byline, aim at the centre. That's it. Stay wider, run wide with the ball, cross from the byline, aim for the centre. So if you think about what Gary Neville would have perhaps done in 1999, when we get the ball, he stays on the flank. He doesn't sit narrower or get further forward. Sometimes you can also get further forward. It depends on the role that you choose for the fullback. But it's part of the role on this one, so it doesn't matter. Run wide with the ball, cross from the byline. That's what we're trying to get him to do. Get to that byline, whip across into the middle. It's identical for Luke Shaw. In fact, there's one extra for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, we've added dribble more, and that's just because he's really good at dribbling. So that's one of the ones that I've adapted to Luke Shaw. In the 99 side, this would have been Dennis Irwin, more than likely. So it kind of still works, even though I'm not bothered if you want to use the dribble more. Certainly don't use the dribble less, but I keep it ticked for Luke Shaw because he's that good. And then the two centre halves, we've got a ball playing defender, which in this one is PK, and we've added no additional instructions. And then we've just got a regular old central defender. We've added no instructions. There's a couple already in there. Hold position, shoot less, dribble less, fewer risky passes. But that comes with being a defensive central defender. With Vidal, the one thing that we've added to him here is... Where is it? I thought... Oh, that's what we've changed. More direct passing. That's the only thing we've changed. And that is as a ball-winning midfielder. You can also use him as a register or as a defensive midfielder, and sometimes as an anchorman. They all sort of do the same thing. I like ball-winning midfielders mentality. At the moment, Pogba is a deep-lying playmaker, and he sits just off. And I suppose that sort of replicates what Scholesy did. I think he was probably more of an advanced playmaker back then. But really, I'm only using that because it's Pogba at the moment. box to box is what you generally need here. On my Salford save and on some of my other lower league saves, I use this position to be a box to box guy. Someone who's got energy, someone who's just going to put themselves all over this pitch. Last season when I had Vidal here, that was Vidal perfect, box to box. And then I had Schneiderlin sitting off him until the ball sold him out from underneath me. So ideally you want box to box. And I know that doesn't quite replicate what United did, but in the game you are going to get tore to pieces if you've not got an awesome midfield pairing. So you need that box to box. Even if he's not as skillful, you want to go box to box. I've got Pogba and Vidal. I can go deep line playmaker and be happy with how they're going to achieve it. But really you want to be going box to box with that. And then at the moment, actually, has that been changed for him? Yeah, it has. I think that's been changed. Well, I've messed about with the settings on one of the last games. We've got Gareth Bale on the right and we've got Memphis on the left. Now, this is not what Man United would have done. This is set up for these two lads. It might actually suit them both if I put them like that. Then maybe they would both be better as wingers. But I like them both as inverted wingers or inside forwards. So really, you want wingers. It doesn't really matter in all honesty because you're still going to get the same output. In my Salford game I have them as wingers, in this game I have them as inside forwards. It doesn't really make much difference. The one instruction that we've set for those is get further forward when the team has the ball. That is it. I've not told them where to cross from, deep or from the byline. That is it. Just get further forward because we're looking to attack. We're looking to flood forward in numbers. Bales hasn't got the same thing. It's part of the role, apparently. I'm not sure why it's not part of the role for Memphis. Oh, Memphis is a support inside forward. Bale is an attacking inside forward. So it makes no difference, essentially. And then this is one of the key parts. Again, this is not how I normally do it. I've suited this one to Lukaku. Ideally, you want a false nine. A false nine's going to sit in between the lines and he's going to create space. And it almost makes it like a 4-2-3-1. Really, because he basically operates in this area here, and obviously the midfielders, as much as they're asymmetrical like that, they basically sit next to each other anyways, looking for each other. Bit of a pendulum, like Petit and Vieira used to be a little bit. That's the central midfield pairing that you're looking for, really. That sort of style. One guy clearing it up to pass it on to one guy who's going to do the box-to-box legwork. So, in this formation, you want a false nine. But because of Lukaku, he fits all of the attributes for a target man. That's how I use him. And the settings for him are none, essentially. The settings for Martial, he's got a few. Roam from position, basically do what you want. Shoot more often, be more risky. That is it. Just you do what you want. Sort yourself out. Do whatever you've got to do. And that comes together for somehow and creates a very effective tactic. Now, one thing that you're going to see when you get this tactic is when you lose, you're going to get stuffed. When you win, you're probably going to win quite convincingly. The other thing that you're going to see is your assistant manager is going to constantly tell you that you're getting overrun in midfield. If you've got the confidence in your team, especially if you think that your team's a bit better than the others, just have faith in it and it'll be fine. But they will constantly tell you you're getting overrun in midfield. Of course you are. You've essentially got one guy. It might as well be a 5-1-4 formation, hasn't it? Really. Because Vidal's a defensive player. When you're in possession, Shaw and Darmian, your two fullbacks, they're going to bomb forward. So it's basically up to these three guys to deal with anything that's coming at you. And you do get overrun sometimes, but if you've got the confidence, just keep playing it. So that is my tactic. That is the main one that I use. Apart from that, I use a 4-2-3-1, which has got very similar sort of attributes, but I like to do control with that one as the mentality. So control, and that's more of me trying to replicate that Barcelona Bayern Munich tiki-taka style. Rather than the attacking 1999 Manchester United style. I might actually have a mess about and see if I can replicate the AC Milan style of 89-90. That'd be interesting to see. That'd be a real good video. I think if I can manage to pull that off and have the team moving in the chunks the same way. But who knows. So thank you for watching. I can't believe that's going to be a 15-minute video just talking about a tactic. In my head I thought it was going to be a 4 or 5 minute video, but there you go. Hopefully you've learned something, and if you've tried it out, let me know what you think. and let me know. Give it a run of 4 or 5 games. You won't kick it off. If you saw my Football Manager video that I did for the world record attempt, you'll see that I lost my first game. Just stick with it. It's going to take a bit for your players to get fluidity with it, so you might need a run of 5 games, but after 5 games, let me know what you're doing. If it's worked for you, awesome. If not, well, maybe your team isn't good enough. So thank you for watching. Stick it in the comments how you got on. Give me a subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you soon.